What's up, guys? It's Ben 2000 your friendly neighborhood Yu-Gi-Oh! Superhero, and today, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to beat Altergiest. Stick around. Alright, so like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm going to be talking about 5 combo pieces specifically that can help you defeat Altergiest. The thing is, how do I explain this? Alright, the Altergiest deck is very difficult to defeat, especially if you don't know what you're up against, or really you don't know what you're doing. And you're going to have to be frank, you're going to have to read the Altergeist cards. Now, I have taken the liberty of reading all the Altergeist cards and kind of looking at the YCS Sydney deck, winning deck, and, analyzing it in my own time to kind of figure out, why it won. Now, obviously it won because, it's a good deck. It's a powerful deck. Even though, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I hate it. Oh, man, do I hate Altergeist. But it is what it is. I don't have to like Altergeist. And the people that do, y'all enjoy that. As for the people like myself who are tired of, getting their butt kicked because they don't know how to fight this deck, I'm going to give you some combo pieces to kind of help you maybe not lose them so often. Now, the thing about this deck is its power comes from its ability to not only have its own in-theme negation, it also can play a lot of the generic negation, and its typing is basically perfect. I mean, the fact that this deck is a spellcaster-based deck, so, it gets to use all of the support of, things like Sacred Village, and then, of course, it's going to be getting its own, in-theme, trap hate, too, and it's got its own monster hate by, ditching Altergeist cards. It's freaking crazy, man. The point that I'm trying to make is that the Altergeist deck is just crazy. I mean, they also have, various members of the deck float, and then, of course, they have their own Kieran, which is just crazy, and we all know how that was in Pendulum Era. Everybody who remembers being in Pendulum Era was like, hell no, motherfuckers! When it came to going up against any Pendulum deck that played Magispector Kieran. So, the fact that the Altergeist deck not only has the perfect typing, but also has its own in-theme, ha-ha-ha, bounce your crap back. It's got a ton of disruption and floodgates. So, and this deck gets to play generic floodgates like Rivalry of the Warlords and Sacred Village of the Spellcasters, like I said. But I'm going to give you some combo pieces to hopefully give you an idea on how to beat it. Now, the reason why I call them combo pieces is because the truth is you're not going to be able to beat this deck with one card. You're going to have to combine it with another card. You know what I mean? And when the two cards combine, you get to take down the deck. So essentially, one thing you're going to need is a card like, Jinzo and Royal Decree. Now, I'm going to be using mostly budget options here because that's what I do, but feel free, if you have a card that's going to be more effective than this, feel free to use it. A card like Denko Sekka, for example. Now, that being said, we're going to be focused on that. Jinzo, Royal Decree, for example, they're going to take out the trap card lineup, which is going to help a lot. And then, of course, you'll need something, to balance that out, obviously. Because if you leave your Jinzo or your Royal Decree out there unprotected, you're not going to win. But if you throw that out there, and you throw with some backup, you should be able to take the deck. Now, the next card I'm going to talk about is basically, this is the more generic thing. I'm using the term Heavy Storm Duster, but realistically, if you have any kind of back row hate, that's going to help you. Again, we're back row hate, back row hate, back row hate. The deck is primarily back row hate, but Heavy Storm Duster, if you have, is a very good budget option, really, because I just checked the prices as of making this video. You'll spend a little over $1 for one copy, and that's not a bad deal for some back row hate. It's good if you're going first, and if you're going second, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. So, all right, another thing that's going to help you is mass removal, like for example, Black Rose, Exciton Knight. But if you're going to use these cards, you're going to want to use cards to back them up because they have cards that say screw you to monster effects. So like I said, remember, everything needs backup. That's why these are combo pieces. So mass removal will also get through them. Another thing that they don't really like is their monster effects getting negated. Now they do have a trap card that also protects that, so like again, I keep reiterating, combo pieces. Forbidden Chalice is going to be your budget option. If you have effect mailers, use those. Those will help too. But remember, you're going to need something that you can use on your turn. So analyze your own deck, figure out what the best card to use is. My suggestion is probably going to be Forbidden Chalice. But like in my case, I play Lightsworn. So in my case, it's probably Breakthrough Skill. You know what I mean? Something that I can mill and then use on my turn, as an example. Another card thing that they have problems with is Banishment, which is why you see a lot of people use Evenly Matched. But there's a lot of other cards in the game that also will banish the Altergeist cards. Invoke Macabre, Paleozoic, and yes, I am aware that I am cheating and looking at my thing. Dinomischus. These are cards that are going to banish the invoke cards, and they don't necessarily have to be just the monsters, but they can also banish the trap cards. Which, depending on, like I said, what you're playing, that's going to help you. Banishment is another powerful tool that you can use to get past them. It's actually one of their weak spots because they actually need to go to the graveyard. If you banish all their stuff, you'll have a tendency to, they're not going to be able to float. Now, that being said, you're going to have to play what you can afford, or what you ever get lucky and pull. Like myself, I got lucky and pulled an Evenly Match from one of the Mega 10s from last year, so I have one. But, obviously, I can't just rely on Evenly Matched by itself to win me a game against Altergeist. Alright, and lastly, this is going to be a Floodgate. Now, this is going to be one of the most expensive options, but if you are playing a deck with a single attribute, this is the Floodgate that you may want. So, for example, if you were playing like something like Blue Eyes, which is all light, or Dark Magician was all dark. I know that those are kind of really casual choices, but just bear with me here. It's just, as examples, they're both light and dark, respectively, and 90% of the deck is that. So they could play traps like Gozen Match against the Altergeist matchup, and they don't have to worry about it as much. Now, that is the last card on my list that will help you be able to fight the Altergeist deck. Now, the reason why I'm throwing that out there is, and most of these cards, like I said, are budget options or budget options to the main cards you would use, like Red Reboot, for example, being a main one, and then I gave you Jin Zone Royal Decree. The truth is, not everybody can afford to play those cards, so I'm giving you the best, like, ulterior option, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Altergeist, in the end, another thing that you can do, and this is going to be just kind of a bonus thing, this isn't the list part of things, cards that are immune to being targeted or are unaffected by card effects, whether they be just monsters or just traps, that's up to you, but ultimately, like, Cosmos are a good choice. I saw that on another video. For my kookier version, I'm going to say First of the Dragons, if you're playing a deck that plays normal monsters. If you're playing something like, you know what I mean, if you're playing anything that can play like a generic level 7 synchro, Yazi, Evil of the Yang Zing is a good one. If you're a big time, Blue Eyes fanatic, maybe you like Chaos Max. That's not my personal favorite, but, the truth is, Altergeist do a lot of targeting. That's kind of they have a lot of target removal, so that could be used in your advantage too. So that's kind of your little bonus thing towards the end here. I know I didn't really plan this video out as well as I could, but I've been a little bit busy working on some other stuff behind the scenes. I hope you'll forgive me. If you guys liked this video, and the reason why I'm even doing it, by the way, is real quick before we cut to that, is because YCS Sydney, they had that win. Altergeist won the game, and they were like one of the more represented decks, which leads me to believe that Altergeist are going to be a more represented deck in the future, as well as because they're also getting support soon, so they're going to be able to do a lot more unfair things, so they're going to be a bigger threat, and I figured you guys, my audience, who are mostly casual players like myself, need to find a way to be able to defend yourself against that. So, because the deck is so versatile, you can't beat it with one thing or another, you need it to be able to needed to have combo pieces, and this was the best option I could come up with, was to give you guys, my audience, combo pieces. So, because I don't know what deck you're playing, but hopefully with the number of cards that I have listed out in this video, you will find something or get an idea of what kind of works against them, and then you can look at your own deck and figure out what meshes well. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense to you guys. If there's anything that I've missed that you think you have a budget option against Altergeist that's really good, make sure you leave that in the comments below. It'll help everybody out, because, you know, we casual players, we don't want to lose just automatically because we choose to play something that's a little older or maybe not as quote-unquote good as, you know, the meta decks. So the idea here is that, you know, we communicate with each other, we talk to each other, and we figure out what's the best way to keep up. So, I hope you guys will enjoy this video. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up and let me know you enjoyed it. If, like I said earlier, don't forget to leave your suggestions in the comments below. And, yeah, I'm still in a race with you, say. So if you guys want to see me win this race to 500, please subscribe to moi. Alright, guys, that's all I got for you today, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.